not looking good out there. I mean, this is now we're in full-on war. I mean, Russia is now is invading Ukraine. We've spoken to people in Ukraine. We've spoken to community members in Ukraine. The situation isn't good. The situation isn't good there. I mean, they're talking about no money coming out of the ATMs. The airport has been hit. The Ukrainian airport has been hit, and that means that there's a big restriction in terms of flights coming in and out. In fact, I might even have a video to show you guys of the Ukrainian airport. And to be very, very, very clear, I haven't verified the accuracy of these videos, so I'm going to show it to you as I've received it. Please take it in that spirit. But it does feel like here, I'll show you the video over here. I'm sure you guys have seen it.
Звідки вони хуяють, блядь?
Звідки?
So that's the video that I got. I got a whole lot of other videos as well from members of the community. Some of them are in Ukraine, and yeah, it's not looking very good. Markets also responding accordingly. I think markets are right now a tale of two cities. When I say a tale of two cities, on the one hand, you've got stock indice futures, and you can see that the markets are getting obliterated. You've got the Dow down again 2%, the Nasdaq down again 2%. The entire European market, if you look at the European market right now, European market DAX down nearly 5%, 4.27%. The CAC down 3.92%. Euro stocks down 4%. FTSE down 4%. The Russian market is they actually halted trading. The market was down about 25% again, and they halted trading on the Moscow exchange and the MOEX. Let me try and find you a better chart. You can actually see what's going on here. So this is the Russian exchange. Now, last I heard, they limited trading. I guess the trading's back up, or at least the futures are trading. So that's down again, down 20.
Wow, look at that. That's ridiculous, dude.
That's what's happening.
What is it down from the top? That's way more. Like, what is that?
So the top was about 200. The top was 195.
Wow.
Now it's over 50% down. I mean, this is Russian stock market trading like a shitcoin. And then if you look at the ruble, if you look at the ruble versus the US dollar, the ruble also took a hit. It's now trading at let's go back. I'll take it back to the daily chart. There we go. That's the daily chart of the ruble. Yeah, so I think, to be honest, I think Bitcoin is actually doing relatively well given what the market is doing, but not a great day for Bitcoin. Not a great day for Bitcoin for many reasons. I mean, I think the first reason why it's not a great day for Bitcoin is the market is categorically now classifying Bitcoin as not a store of value. The market is now categorically putting Bitcoin in with the growth stocks, with the stocks, with stuff like that. So I guess the big question on everyone's mind is, well, first of all, I guess I think money comes secondary today. And today it's about community members, it's about people, it's about what's going on in the world. It's not about money and it's not about portfolios because, regardless, this will pass. From a money point of view, markets will recover. But I think a lot of households, families, friends, community members, the damage that will be done to them isn't going to recover with any kind of market recovery. I know that we have, right now, we have 4 people in the office who are our team in Ukraine, and they ran away from Ukraine and they came to work from the Crypto Banter offices in Cape Town, and I had a chat to them this morning. And they said to me, it's bad. Like, our families are there, our parents are there, our friends are there. You can't draw money from ATMs. You can't get gas from the gas stations. There are alarms going off everywhere. There are sounds of bombs dropping in Kiev and surround, even people far outside of Kiev. And I think it's a very, very, very sad day for our community members and for anybody who's there. That's the first thing. I also think it's a sad day for the Russian people. I think it's a sad day for our community members. I know we've got a big Russian community, and I think that my discussions with some of them, and I'm not speaking broadly for all of them, but it's scary. It's I feel they got caught up in this. They don't want a war. No one wants a war, and governments are having a war. So I think, first of all, before any market talk and market discussion, our thoughts and prayers are with all the people of Russia and all the people of Ukraine, and specifically, and the Banter fam in those countries. I think the first thing is what we want a speedy resolution, and hopefully we can get a speedy resolution quicker than anyone expects. But yes, someone in the chat is saying Irina is from Ukraine. To be honest, we had a chat with Irina we didn't phone her. We chatted to her over messaging apps. And yeah, I asked her if she wanted to potentially come on the show and just give us, the point of view from a Ukrainian Banter fam member. And in a nutshell, she's been, they're running away, they are traveling, they are deciding what their next moves are going to be. The people are petrified. The people have been up all night. That's the situation. And markets are responding. So you've got, on the one hand, you've got stock markets, which I showed you, which are doing this. But then there's another side of the market. And the other side of the market is commodities. And if you look at the commodities, it's exactly the other side of it. So you've got gold up 3%. Gold's now touching nearly all-time highs. You've got silver up 3%. You've got copper, palladium, anything that comes out of Russia. So crude oil up 10%. Crude oil is now at $100, and that level hasn't been seen since 2014. So we haven't seen those kind of levels since 2014. This is very, 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 very scary. This is very scary. And the reason why this is very scary is because this is going to cause inflation like we've never seen it before. This is going to cause, you're talking about every single commodity in the world, which is used to manufacture everything that we consume as consumers. And these commodities are going up. Things like wheat up 6% today, corn up 6% today, soybean oil up 6% today. This is huge. One day moves in staples that people consume every single day, and all of these hitting. I mean, I just want to show you before we get into the real charts. I just want to show you what the oil chart looks like. So let's just go to oil and look for Brent crude or something. Here we go. So oil crude. I want to show you how scary this is from a where are we point of view. So I'm actually even going to take it to the month. That's what oil looks like. And if you go back, in fact, let me maybe even go to a weekly chart just to give you guys a real view of where we're at with these commodity prices. So yeah, there we go. So the last time that we had this kind of these kind of prices in oil was, I think, September 2014 or August, September 2014. That's how I remembered it. I remembered it September. It was August. I thought it was September. So you're talking about you haven't seen these kind of oil prices in 8 years. And now you can see this. And Russia is playing on this. Russia pretty much has said, they said, look, we know that there's not a single country in the world that can fulfill the demand of the oil and gas that Russia fulfills. And so this is becoming a commodity war. And you can see that this is becoming a commodity war because if you look at the commodity prices, the commodity prices are very much reflecting what the market thinks about this. So,
and is this something, brother? Obviously, it sucks, dude. Like, it really sucks what's happening right now. But is this something that's going to take a long time to recover? You know what I mean? Is this one of those really serious events that everything is just taking an absolute smack right now? And it's quite scary. It sucks. Like, the inflation rates, that's a big problem, brother. Like, how can we have this whole war going on? Plus, the increase of inflation is just, it's sickening, dude. It's a losing battle. And I think it's still why we hopefully, have the conviction under Bitcoin and crypto to get out of this old damn world and system. Like, It's not working. Like, how can you have all of this shit hitting in the whole world now? And now we're going to have everything increase. Like, it's a losing battle. It feels like
you know what I think? I think to respect what's going on, I don't want to give my geopolitical views, because my geopolitical views and your geopolitical views about when this will end kind of mean nothing right now. The world is in uncharted territory. No one expected Putin to be as aggressive as he was. It seems, and again, I'm only quoting media reports, and I don't know if they're real or not real, but it does seem like Putin has been very aggressive and very strategic. When you hit an airport, that is very strategic. That is, and we're hearing reports, and again, I don't know what these reports are about. We're hearing reports of Ukrainian troops surrendering already. A lot of Ukrainian troops surrendering already. So I don't know how long this will take, but I do think that what we should talk about is we should talk about people in the community that are invested. And right now, today, I think we're in the midst of panic. I think you can see that in the charts. It's not to say that it can't get worse. And I think we need to live up to show the community, what do we need to do right now? What do we need to do right now? And let's put aside the media and put aside the noise. The reality is that this could carry on going for a week. This could carry on going for 3 months. This could become a world war. No one knows. And now we need to work with the community to decide what the next steps are, what they should be doing if they are invested in the market. And I think the reason why I think we should focus on those that are invested in the market, I think our community is very much invested at the moment. And I think that it's important for us to address what we think the community should do, specifically if the community are invested. So I think that let's keep the show to that. I think I've shown you that. I've just received some images, and again, I don't know if they're real. I'll quickly download them and I'll show them to you guys, and then we can quickly go through portfolios. Let me quickly download it. So I'm watching. I've got a live researchers feed, and the team are sending me stuff right now. So let me just have a look. Oh, hold on, let me download it quickly. It won't let me play it off. I don't want to reveal the team's numbers. So this is, again, I have not verified the authenticity of these videos. I don't know. They're coming from the team, and I don't know where they're getting them from. I doubt that they are taking them themselves. But let me show it to you guys anyway, so that you can see it. And again, you guys make up your own minds. I'm not going to vouch for the authenticity of these videos. This is apparently Russians landing in Ukraine. And again, I say apparently because I have no idea if this is real. These are coming in live in real time.
Is this troops landing in or what?
So those are parachutes and those are troops landing. Again, I don't know how real this is. This is just, I'm getting it from the research. We have a research group. I don't even know if this is from now. I'm just showing you what's coming on the research group. Again, unvetted, because I don't know, because obviously there's no way for me to vet these. I'm not Google. I'm certainly not Facebook either. I'm not Facebook either. And Facebook, apparently, they can vet stuff like this. I can't. All right, so let's look at the charts, and then let's help the community decide what they should do if they are invested today.
Sorry, brother. I just have an echo problem going on here quickly. We're just turning off James left here. Yeah, brother. So obviously, it's that sound system there. Just give me 2 seconds, bro.
Okay. All right. Let me.
There we go. There we go. Sorry, bro. Oh, we sorted. Okay, cool. Yeah, dude, so obviously, like, for me, I've been looking very much the motion in market at this point. I can definitely sense a lot of anger in the market at the moment, and this start's still quite relevant for me on where we're looking at. And I think, obviously the decision we'll make together now is to sort of feel that, where's everyone feeling at now? Remember, this prints something without what's going on in the crazy world right now. It's sort of just printing the basic view of how the market is feeling right now. And we can see we had very much a sort of anger phase at this point. And I'm sort of waiting to see that, is this the capitulation point that we're looking at now? Or are we in the anger phase at this point? Was this that zone on where we actually had, because one thing I have noticed is there's been a big increase in volume over the last few days as well, especially when we hit these low points over here, massive increase in volume. Now we're starting to get big increased volumes over here. So there's definitely a lot of interest in these sort of levels here. But, I'm sort of looking at these things, without what's going crazy, with the world going crazy right now. Let's get to this one here, is sort of looking at the different signs, because for us now, it's easy to say, should we be panicking out of the markets? And we've had these big things happen before in the world, and they actually turned out being, some of the best opportunities you could ever look at. It is quite scary now because you don't know in what depth these things can sort of happen. But remember, where we're at sort of, with the March crash when the whole damn world fell apart and everything went crazy. We're basically looking for the indication of, obviously we got the US speaking today as well, and it's quite interesting that, and it's the emotions in the market's just crazy at this point. But you saw these big overreaction drops when something big happens in the world, and you sort of want to see this long tail candle eventually form. We haven't got it we got it now obviously a few weeks ago, but it's something that's very important for us to see, no matter the levels where we're looking at now. Right now, we have no control what's going on in the world, and the markets are going to be super aggressive. But it's time to now, to look back and to see, what are the main signals we are looking for in the market right now after a big event like this. I want to see a capitulation candle. I want to see a massive influx of volume. And, we've had many times where we've had these massive drop-offs. You want to see that long wick sort of candle. So it's a long emotion candle, if I can call it, a long buy up, a long push up of volume. And it's all these different stages we've seen after big events in the world. We've had big drop off in the market. That's sort of a very important indication we're looking at now, because, who was that guy who sent me that video of last night? And I think it's very important for people to go watch that. I think it was phenomenal because
Benjamin Khan,
say
yeah.
that because I think we're at that stage where making a rash decision right now can be good, but it can also it can put you into a lot of trouble. And one thing he said very much was cash is key right now, and accumulating cash, and not just jumping and acting very quickly in the market right now. This doesn't mean now exiting your positions or stuff, but like accumulating cash in the outside world and sort of building cash at right now, because, will this be a 3-month problem? Will this be something that's resolved and we start to bounce off? It's something that we can only take day for day right now. And I think we've got to be looking at two aspects of definitely building a cash portfolio as much as possible right now, and not deploying and sort of not reacting. Yeah.
Problem is with building a cash portfolio right now, that would mean that if you want to build a cash portfolio right now, it means you have to sell something, right? Most people that I know, most people in the community are pretty much fully invested, mostly invested. And I think the concern is that if people are to build up a cash position right now, it would mean selling at these levels. Now, I don't know if the market is going to go lower or not. In fact, if this war continues for a while.
Well, that's the different views we have now. You got different people, different situations. You still got outflow of money coming in every month. Building a cash portfolio over the next 3 months makes sense without acting and just jumping in and sort of waiting for the stuff to settle is a good thing. Then you got the guys that are in now. They got everything in. And, for us, I'm looking at a chart without news. I'm looking at a chart without the sort of thing. And still we're at the emotional view where, we're at the bottom low of extreme fear in the market. You can see the panic. You can see like the times we've been there before this have turned, I think, to, amazing returns at a later stage of that. And we're at that very similar phase again. So for me to panic out right now, I'm sort of looking at the other options where I don't have to be panic out now. Like, how much more panic can we go through?
So here's the way I say it. If you are in quality, and when I say to quality, I'm talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, the DEXs, etc. Then if the way I'm playing it is, I'm not selling now, because I think that if you're selling now, you're selling into panic. It could go down lower. But for me, when I look at these investments, I look at them over a long-term period of time, and I say, okay, over a long-term period of time, I have a lot of conviction that the long-term, these tokens will work. We've seen many situations in history. Where markets have come down for various reasons, for invasions, for attacks, for pandemics or pandemic and stuff like that. And ultimately, every time, if you've held quality is recovered and recovered stronger. Now, a part of that is as a result of inflation. So a part of everything is as a result of inflation. Because just by doing nothing, if companies just stagnate and do nothing, just because we have inflation and they print more money into circulation every single time, money goes up. I think we're now entering a period of very, very, very high inflation. And the reason why I say that is because if I look at the drivers of inflation, The drivers of inflation are actually these things over here. These are the drivers of inflation. So I think we're going to enter a period of much higher inflation than we've actually seen. I think if the US thinks that the inflation is going to remain at 7% when the commodity prices are going up like this, they're wrong. In an environment of inflation, if I'm holding quality, then what I want to be doing is I want to be riding the inflation wave. So in other words, I hold quality and I wait for inflation to bring the prices up. My concern is that if you sell now, and again, I'm only saying this if you're selling quality, if you're holding quality. If you're holding shitcoins, as I said a long time ago, you probably should have shifted your shitcoins into stuff that's going to survive a bear market. But if you're holding quality, then what you do is you just ride the wave. You just wait and you ride the wave. And then when it recovers, you have two things on your side. You have a recovery and you have a lot of inflation on your side. And that's a recipe for a big bounce. But it does take time. It does take time. It's not going to happen.
It does, brother. And one thing we can vouch very much for crypto is they've been through these big dip-offs and we've had these big range drop-offs. But it always turned out to be brilliant, returns after that, or opportunity sort of after that. I think it's the point where now stuff is, things are very fearful. Like where you make great money in this market is when things are extremely fearful. But what is the key little, like, what do we need to see? We need to see something. And, this is why I'm saying that it may take remainder of the week. It may take a little bit more time, but we need this really strong pin, bar, candle, high volume break. And for me, then it's showing me we're at a very strong, this is remove everything. Go back to history on the charts. It's very simple. When we get these high flow levels here and, we've been looking for a capitulation candle, the sort of thing, it's printing emotion right now. At some point, if this stuff settles, everyone's going to say, okay, now that's over and done with now. You look at them like, oh, wow, everything's so damn specials right now. They're going to eventually turn back and look at sort of the thing. So I think it's still for people to understand that we need these big events to happen to create opportunity and create these levels. But what are we looking at? And I'm looking at this, that I still have a chart that's showing me that we changed some sort of trend along the last 3-4 months where we had this really strong downwards trend. And it's sort of showing me right now that we're in this very much sort of side accumulation sort of trend right now. And all that I'm seeing is we have the major support that's sitting at 33. We then have the next one at 29. But I'm waiting now to see where we're getting an influx of volume. But I want to see a long tail candle that turns green like this, a very high flex of volume. And then I want to be looking at, sort of adding to sort of positions. I'm patient now. Doesn't mean I'm adding right now. We've been adding a lot over the last period of times. I do think it's quite a big mistake. If you need the money and you really need the money, and I think this is a very important thing, like, and you got to do what you got to do. Like if you really, really have to, then I'd be, obviously freeing up some cash at these levels, which is quite sucky. But for me, I can't be selling in this big fear. Like just chart wise, history wise, on what has happened. I think we don't rush in either on the market right now, and we wait for that very clear signal of what we actually need. We need, without emotion, without whatever happening, we need the clear indication of a massive spike in volume. And that will give me, what's really good quality for cheap rates right now and start deploying back in that. But I think to be feared out of this right now, I think it's a trap. And I don't know how to sort of say it in that way, but I do feel it's a scary trap at this point.
Yeah, I must say, again, my view stands. I'm not selling anything. I don't know if this is the right time to buy. Historically, usually when people are panicking, it is the right time to buy. I'm not sure that this is the peak of the panic. We have had an invasion. But for right now, if I'm holding quality, I'm not selling it. I'm absolutely not selling it. All I'm doing is I'm getting myself more used to the idea that I'm going to be a much longer term holder. And I'm comfortable that my portfolio, the majority of my portfolio, and therefore I hope the majority of all our portfolios is actually sitting in protocols that are going to change the world long term. You should be sitting in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Arweave, Luna, Uniswap, Astroport. And if you are holding those, then if this takes a month or 3 months or a year, that those protocols will probably be around. Most of those protocols will probably be around. And then you're okay. Dot, Atom, those protocols will probably all be around. So now is not the time for me. This is not the time to be panic selling. There is only one reason that I would be selling right now. And that is, if you need money for survival, if you need money to live, then right now you must make sure that you have enough money to live, because you don't know how long this is going to take. But if you're playing with crypto with money that potentially you can invest for 2-3 years and you have a longer investment horizon, then I would say, I would go as far as to say that this is a good buying opportunity. But layer in your buys, because it could get
There's no rush. And I think this is where the power of it is. Let's wait for that very clear, obvious signal for us. And I think that if you do have money, the accumulating of money, not rushing right now, getting that money ready for any point, and then waiting for the clear signal after that. So if you are ready to buy, everything's looking at phenomenal levels right now when it comes to much higher time frame views. But there's no rush right now. The stuff takes a little bit of time. There's no rush at all. And let's wait for the clear signal. I think for the guys that are in, and they're in strong at this moment, we are at a very anger, capitulation sort of, guys, we add emotionally, we at a bottom level when it comes to that. Doesn't mean it can't fluctuate a little bit more in the zone, but proven from the history, this will be the worst time to ever be panicking out of the market. It's just going to put you in a very bad situation after that. So if you desperately need the money, that makes sense. But if not, we basically got to ride this through and continue with that. And I think that's it for today, Ryan. I think it's the simplicity of just...
I think that's just, if we can just call up one chart quickly, if we can call up the gold chart, because that gold chart, if you are gold is probably a good proxy for gold, silver, commodities. Let's look at what the gold chart looks like right now. I mean, how would you call it?
It's ripping, but no, it's ripping. But for me, it's like, I can't switch to gold now. I wouldn't switch to gold, my opinion. Like,
yeah, but I mean,
it's rallied up, but it's showing strength.
Hold on a
in the
second.
region of, let's have a look here, 5% from all-time highs.
What about this? What about this scenario? Hold on. What about this scenario here? This is okay. Hold on a second. There we go. What do you make of that chart?
It makes sense. A support bounce, it makes sense. It definitely does. We've broken all resistance right now. So a test there does make sense. It's gold looks strong. It looks very strong.
Let's look at the silver chart, because I think silver is probably the same.
Yeah, let me just load it up.
I think it's SILV, or maybe that's the ETF.
That's with this one, I'm sure. I don't know if this is the correct one.
Yeah, that looks about right. The gross silver.
Yeah, it's just a breaking out of a downward sort of flag phase here and showing strength. So same thing, it's got next key big levels. I feel like we've missed the pump on them now, and it feels like you're selling one ship that has fallen. Like, I would be doing the opposite right now. Know what I mean? If I got in on the gold pump, I'd be looking at obviously the clear indication in the market, but then I'd be getting back into the crypto markets definitely at that point. So, but this is giving us a clear indication of what's going on right now. People are jumping to safety. There's panic, brother. There's so much panic in the world right now. There's a lot of panic.
Just that video that I showed, apparently the researchers are now saying that's the fake video. It's from 2018, they're saying. So it's a trading in 2018.
So this is interesting, man. Like, we look at the different views of what's happened as we're closing off here. Like, look at the stock market, dude. Like, Bitcoin's still here at least. You know what I mean? Like, that was the lows, and Bitcoin's at that level. Like, look at the US market right now.
Yeah.
It's a bloodbath, but maybe it's a damn good thing. It's like, when was the last time this happened? Was here.
Yeah.
This big zone here. So it's, a little cool off always creates big opportunities later. How big will the cool off be? We'll monitor with you guys, and we'll be there with. But it needed to slow down. It had to slow down, man. It had to.
Yeah, okay. I
guess
we're looking at it. I guess it's pretty sad that the reason why it slowed down is a war. I think terrible. I think it's I'd prefer for no buying opportunities and no slowdowns and no war and no panic. And I mean, again, I was speaking to people in the community from Ukraine this morning. It's sad. And I guess today is not really about the money. So I think let's leave it at that. Banter fam, if you are from Ukraine and you do want to check in with us, just let us know how you're feeling. Make contact with us either on the Telegram group or just ping me on Twitter. And we will, we can have a chat and just tell us how you're feeling. If anybody from the community wants to come on the show and just let us know if you're in Ukraine and you just want to let people know what's going on in Ukraine, you've got an open microphone. Let us know how you're feeling. We're with you. Let us know how you're feeling. And then ultimately, I guess the big message is that it's for the next couple of days, it's not about money, and it's not about recoveries, and it's not about investments. It's about people. And our prayers and our thoughts go out to everybody in Russia and Ukraine. And hopefully this will end much sooner and much more peaceful, and with much less, with much fewer casualties than we hope, than we see.
Mm-hmm. And the big thing, Ran, is we're here for you, Banter fam. Like through all of this, we'll be here every day, and we'll get there. We're here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alrighty, cool. So guys, we'll see you guys again later. 3 hours from now, we've got the show. We may do a call-in show today. Just to get you guys calling in, telling us how you feel. Yeah, let's get you guys calling in, just tell us how you feel. Tell us how you're feeling. Maybe share some messages with the people of Russia and the people of Ukraine. And if you are from Russia and Ukraine, feel free to contact us. You've got an open platform, an open microphone. If you just want to tell us how you're feeling. If you're scared, let us know you're scared, and let the community know. We'll see you guys again in a few hours. Until then, I'm not even going to say trade well. Stay safe, my friends. Just stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.